Morning, everyone. Call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum. We take a motion to approve the agenda in the minutes. Is
So moved.
there a second? Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion will carry. Rich Brown, not around this week.
I think he's on vacation.
Vacation?
He's Snoopy told us
If
that.
not, I'm sure you got Mitchell
Or,
covered
yeah,
this
he's
one
got
or two.
Mitchell too, so.
So move on from there. Drainage. Didn't see we had a stand for warrant.
Yeah, it was just something we were cleaning up from an error that happened before, so.
Make a motion to approve drainage claims.
All right, we're supposed to approve drainage claims. There's a second.
I'll second.
Any other discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion will carry.
Heard anything from Pop yet, but what kind of DD?
No, sorry. Yes. No, I was just thinking about that. It's like, yeah, I haven't heard back from those guys, so I will get on them today. See if we can't figure something out for this week.
Okay.
To meet over there.
Maybe try to talk to Elvis too, so he'd be interested in cutting and stuff. Third one.
Yeah, no, it sounds good. So we can get back to those guys and see if they want to move forward or not. Which I believe would be a great idea. But- Right. Any claims this week?
Yeah, apparently at year end, once a week isn't enough, we have to have even more.
Once a
so,
day?
Yeah. No comment.
Okay.
All right. Take the motion to approve claims.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims.
Your second.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion will carry. Are there any reports?
No.
Payroll eligibility or salary changes?
Nope,
Liquor license.
yes. Lanterns and gates.
Release, man. Annual renewal, motion to approve the liquor license for Lanterns and Lace.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed?
Is that the wedding venue
Yes.
or whatever, the venue place?
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds like they're getting busier, yeah. All right. Fireworks request.
Nope,
Aflac policy exception request. I think you guys were contacted as well as I was.
Yep.
Our employee will remain nameless just to the fact of closed session rules, but just been a request. This employee was not eligible beforehand and now is eligible, wanting to join Aflac. Due to the age, unable to do a standalone or personal policy, so they have to come into a group policy. And I know we had decided just a few months back that we weren't going to allow any more Aflac. We're going to stick with the benefit partners. Accidental or extra insurance, basically.
and she wasn't supposed to be soliciting.
Right. So, I guess my thoughts are, what's your guys' thoughts? I mean, I don't.
So the deal was, correct me if I'm wrong, she would pay for it herself, it wouldn't come out of payroll.
I don't
They
know that.
wanted to come out of payroll, I'm sure.
I thought the way it was explained to me, it wouldn't. And I could be wrong, but
Just as coming on the.
The way it got
she
explained.
could get
I
into the
thought it was
group,
gonna-
but she would pay for it herself.
Well, they always pay
They
for
always
it
pay for it
themselves.
That
themselves,
comes out pre-tax.
Yeah,
but they wanna get on a group deal because it's a better rate.
Well, and like I said, because of age, she can't do
Yeah.
this.
I think in this case, we ought to make an exception.
but there's always gonna be another one.
Right. I guess to me, and I don't know, I haven't not talked to this employee, but I don't know who it is for sure, or was not giving
I
a name,
didn't
but,
ask.
or we have this person look into the group benefits options to see if,
That
Well,
would-
and
they're
they might have
comparable
missed the
and
boat, they might have missed the boat
eligibility
on
on
that one because that was July 1st sign up stuff.
Where they can still get into Aflac at the present time.
They shouldn't be able to, but.
we'd have to make an exception to policy.
We would plus Aflac would.
We would have to,
No,
because
Just us.
Aflac
Just
would be
us.
fine.
I believe, yeah.
we would just have to make an exception to policy saying that we're allowing this person, even though our policy says no, we're allowing that to happen. But
Thing is,
just because of eligibility coming here at the last minute, which, I mean, I guess, I don't wanna see this person go without if they want it, but I would rather have them look into our group benefits portion of it first.
Is it available with our group benefits, the thing that she's after?
Not 100% sure
I'd have to
what
look.
policy.
Yeah, I sent an email.
It's the same, it's
to Ryan.
accidental. I mean, it's like extra,
it's an extra policy.
yeah, basically,
It just, yeah,
so. I guess that's my thought too, is maybe. We could chat with this person and see if they've looked into the group benefits portion to go that route. If it's available, and I would rather make an exception to policy for that, just because she has just now become eligible, than to,
But when's the next one gonna come then?
well, I
And she's,
understand
and
that.
Betty's gonna still think she can come here and. see us.
Right, yeah, and that's what we're trying to get it down, to narrow it down, but still, it's, yeah. I don't wanna see her go without either,
No,
because,
I understand. that.
Yeah, I don't wanna see her go down.
but like I said, I would rather look at it as the group benefits portion first.
I agree. We just kind of table till next week then.
Okay.
The way it got explained to me was she's now become eligible after quite a few years.
Yeah.
Or 5 years or something, whatever the limit is.
Yeah.
And I don't wanna
Right.
stop her from getting it.
Right.
No, I agree as well, but like I said, I guess we can just have this person check on their group benefits side
Right.
and see if that policy is the same type of policy is
Policy
available
available.
through that and everything else. 'Cause
So
that's
table it
the
till
direction
next
we're
week?
going. Yeah, we'll just table it until we need to discuss it again, I guess, but. So,
She wants to close, or he or she wants to close session. We could do one sometime this week. I'm available, so wants to discuss it with us. but
And if I hear back from Ryan or Katie from group benefit, I can
Let us
pass
know.
that on to you too.
Okay.
well, that sounds good. I think we'll go with that then, so. The renewal's not till 9. Discussion on the draft wind ordinance and possible litigation.
Just
I
check.
kind of waited with that. I figured that would be after 9. I didn't think, I forgot Rich wasn't here.
Okay.
So, I told Jeff 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No, that's fine.
Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. If he's available to be here by then, that's just fine.
So-
I just figured you wouldn't be so efficient. this morning already. After
You didn't-
after a holiday
You
weekend.
didn't have enough to do.
And
You didn't have a list.
Rich wasn't here either to take up the
Yeah.
time, so. Courthouse damage, water damage.
Nothing.
I did run into Mr. Kennison and prodded him a little bit this weekend, so see if that helps. One with Betco, I don't think Melissa's on, she's on vacation, she's back here tomorrow. Speaking of that, she has had some interest in, one of the covenants is gonna be a little restrictive on explosives. I did reach out to, Devin Joe Boyd's attorney, and they're feeling the same way. That is a covenant that's restricting the sale of fireworks. Which I think maybe Jeff Grieve and I can talk with Rich again, the attorney, and see. I mean, they've got fireworks out there at their place, and I don't know if they feel that's a conflict by losing lease money, or if that's gonna affect them leasing part of their parking lot. 'Cause I'm assuming they're out there again this year, right? I have.
Yeah,
them out there.
there's 2 of them out there.
And then there's the guy across the street.
Yep.
That has his own property. So I don't know what the deal is, but maybe we can
Right. And
discuss that with them a little bit, but
be nice if we could do that, not to chase them away. I talked to those guys too, or they called me and I
Yeah.
said there is other property available like next to Come and Go too. I mean, if they really
Yeah.
wanna be here. I mean, we
Right.
can't change that.
yeah,
We
and
still
that's,
wanna have them come.
yeah, that the way it sounds, are serious enough that they may go to that developer next time go as well.
Yep.
So
Okay.
hate to miss out on it.
Right, well, any development out there would be good.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be nice.
But
to
I'd
get
like
one.
to see it out there, get started too, exactly.
Us as being the developers, it'd be nice to see somebody get in ours, but
Start.
yeah. But, so anyways, I think we'll work on that a little bit too.
Okay.
See what we can come up with, so. People service, I believe there's anything, I do know, Jason had sent some info out to people service, try to get our water rates squared away. I think he contacted.
Yeah,
you
I was
for some-
wondering if they were
budget
supposed
stuff.
to do the water rates from the first place, why didn't they do it when they were actually needed to be renewed? Since we've been like breaking even,
Oh,
if that,
people's,
yeah,
you mean?
yeah.
Oh, I don't know, and I guess I don't know who was responsible for getting all the customers out there together to get
Initiated.
come and go needs to be on they've been on the preliminary rate for 2 years longer than they're supposed to be. So I guess I'm not sure whose responsibility that was to try to bring that group together. But that's what I'm working on doing is
Yeah,
as soon as we get numbers figured out, we're all gonna get together and say, okay, here's where everybody belongs, here's where we're gonna be. And then
Because
as
even
we
in
get
That's one thing those guys are interested in too, you know, we need to know.
Right.
Yeah,
kind of need to figure where our rates are gonna be at, so.
because even in the past, I had McClure do it, so
Mhm.
I guess I never noticed that was part of the people service deal.
Right, and that's why Jason's working with it, because I think they kind of figured some of that into our development agreement was to help with water rates and costs and stuff like that, so I think we're getting it, it's just, we'll get the rest of the info to them. They had most everything they needed because they take care of most of our billing, so. But anyway, so that hopefully will be coming here to the table before too long. Department head discussion. That's on the list.
Starting today, Keenan's will be open 7 days a week. We'll still have limited hours, but it'll be 7 days a week now, so
8 to
8 to 1.
8 to 1.
We did have some citations written out there over the weekend, so.
Just trespass, right?
Margie's back. I kind of mentioned to you guys kind of what my plan I was thinking about doing. If you guys are good with it, I think I want to stay with that, keep Terry as jail admin, but have her part-time up there learning that job. She's got a long ways still to learn. She's done good when she was gone, but there's still some errors and some stuff that we need to correct. And that would be promoting Rick Anderson up to a part-time jail admin. What I'd like to see is a 50-cent raise for him, since he's taken on some administrative roles. It is in my budget. I'll be able to cover it in my budget without any problems. So if you guys are okay with it, that's kind of the direction I'd like to proceed. I know it's not here for an action item.
Right.
I'd have to write out the thing, but that's kind of one of the things I'm looking at, because I do think Terry needs to be working with Margie, and Margie's gonna be limited hours all this month, so.
I agree. And there also
start training.
cross training's got to be there because someday she's gonna want to retire and say back with it. So it's good to have at least multiple people if you can, because that's probably not something you can train on overnight, obviously. Okay.
Need a sheet before we
Yep.
can pay.
Yep, no, this
Yep.
is just because it's not even an action item right now,
Yep.
so.
As far as Keenan's goes, it's been, obviously you're gonna get a few here and there, but it's been pretty decent.
I've gotten some information that there's a lot dropping people off and sneaking in there, and then they'll come back, pick them up, so that's something we're gonna have to watch. But otherwise, I mean, it's been pretty deep. It was, Jim and I were down there last Thursday. It was kind of nice. There was 4 or 5 fishermen, a family, they were in there. There was no garbage on the ground, no tore up grass. That's what it's for. And it was working really good.
Yeah.
So
Have you thought about a camera, so you can see the beach or something?
where are you gonna put a camera? You'd have to have cameras everywhere.
Well,
It'd be tough.
Well, the worst part is you'd have to grab Wi-Fi.
Well, we have buried fiber in the park,
Oh, you do?
yeah. But the reality is Dan and I have talked about the camera thing and who's gonna watch it?
Right.
You know, what I mean, we could find it after the fact, but it's,
Right.
Which,
catch
you
'em in
know,
the
if
act.
they're
yeah,
getting
to catch them in an act would be tough
information,
and,
And
track back.
and then you don't, you know, you only have the driver's information and
Right.
We do have that Winnebago telephone. Did allow like cities and stuff, towns, they would cover the cost of internet if we put cameras up.
For 1 year.
For, I think it's a revolving,
It's a 1 year thing.
Mark Thomas said it was a. we would
Not
just-
from what I've been hearing on my research.
Oh, okay, all right.
Because I've had some cities look into it.
Okay. That's what.
Get a vote, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. At least it's controllable now to.
it's really back to the crowds that we want there. I mean, it's families and
Mhm.
fishermen.
Families and fishermen and, yeah.
And even all of my staff said too, that, you know, closing at 1, they haven't had any trouble. You know, we go through it, we show up a lot of times right at noon and kind of start giving people the warning or whatever that we close at 1. And nobody's gave us flack. I mean,
That's good.
And kind of what we've talked about for the progression on this is get to 7 days a week, open up 2 extra hours in the morning, and then probably cap it at nothing after 3 o'clock because in the afternoon, because that's when his staff starts thinking about going home, finishing stuff up
Mhm.
instead of keeping people past time to, and that's when most of our problems happen between that 4 and 8. So kind of cap it, move it a little bit as we go here to maybe 3 PM, but that'd be our ending time.
No, it sounds good. It's glad it's working and controllable and people can still respectfully use it, so. That's a good deal.
our fishermen have said nothing but good things about the fact that we did this.
We're probably they're able to fish now.
Yeah, it is, because there's been several, you know, they quit fishing there because of how busy and all the extra
Mhm.
activity.
Right. Oh, that's good. All right, any other department heads have anything out in Zoom land?
I have a board of directors meeting tomorrow, so if there's anything you guys have questions about, I can certainly bring it up with the board.
Which directors on which board?
ISAC.
That's it.
Yeah, ISAC board of directors, and then ICIT is having a meeting with Christy Harshberger tomorrow afternoon about Senate File 342.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what's that?
That's the,
Which one is that?
1,000 that I've read.
yeah, let me refresh on that one. I was gonna read it too. It has to deal with,
That one protecting people's privacy,
Online.
recorded documents and
Yeah.
all that good
yeah,
stuff.
it has to deal with recorded documents,
I was wondering.
More fun,
putting stuff on the webs, online access, and
redacting,
Yeah.
hiding.
because they had the one that was military. Oh, military credit and stuff, they were wanting to redact those off all the websites as well. And this is the fix for that, and I think we went backwards instead of forwards, but I'll let you guys know when we have the meeting here this week, how that goes. I know the reporters are talking about it with Lucas.
Okay, any other department heads? See, others online, so move on to Supervisor Weekly, Mr. Loberg.
I didn't have anything last week. Oh, I talked to Mark Kroll a couple times, but that was it.
Safety committee, basically, everybody got the email with the new
So that draft.
updated safety manual draft, whatever, so, that was the main, just to the meeting. No incidents to report, which was good, nobody got banged up in the last few months since we've had a meeting, so that's good. And I had a quick chat with one day with Mark Carl too, I believe, can't remember what day it was now, but he did call me, and then plus the email we got from him, so.
I don't think I had anything last week. I did make contact with Lake Mills Ambulance and Forest City Ambulance in Mason City. We are meeting this Thursday afternoon to discuss what and how EMS may work in the future here. Want to get all three of them together because I know there's been some concern on those corners of the county to continue to keep those services active here, so we'll just kind of have to see what their thoughts are, how it would all play out. I think it's a good thing to have them around, for those areas, and they say, even though, you know, Mason City is, you know, maybe full-time here, there's still that, they get enough calls up here where there's 2 or 3 ambulances in Worth County at one time. And, you know, if we've got the one, obviously, you know, they're gonna keep us one, but still there's always that possibility. There's been numerous ones in the county, so at the same time, so.
Yeah, interesting too, to see what their thoughts are going forward with the possibility of taxation, you know, for ambulance services, what their thoughts,
Yeah.
volunteer services, you know.
Yep.
What their plans are.
Yep, that's the thing. I'm sure we'll have to assist them financially, some, you know, to, you know,
Yeah,
for helping cover the county as well. So, yeah, that's something we'll just have to kind of feel what they're thinking, and then we can keep moving forward towards the discussion of taxation, how the taxation may or may not work, so.
Okay.
I'll have that coming up this week. Otherwise, yeah, I just had a couple emails from Mark. I did not talk to him last week, but I will be talking to him this week, so.
Hey, Jay, if you meet with them, I would love to sit in on it.
The ambulance,
Yes.
Thursday at 4 o'clock, man the fire. When we will be there. Anything else we gotta put on the agenda for us being together anywhere? So we're with Becco board next week.
Monday.
Seemed like a long ways away when I put it on there.
It was.
3 months to be exact. Flew by. Okay. We've got everything covered. We'll
It's way too
wait a few
efficient
minutes
today.
for our 9 o'clock on the river renewal plan.
And I guess if you want a little history on this, it's just for the, $2 million that is in the TIF account at this point that should be over and above what we need for debt service. And, it's going to go towards, the Highway 105 project from the interstate to Winnebago County border. And I did check with both of the superintendents in the area, and Mr. Crozier was fine. And then the Lake Mills superintendent, and he's like, yeah, that road really needs it. So he was all for it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I suppose they're up and down quite a bit.
yeah.
It's good.
And I don't know if they're still on schedule for July or.
I would assume so, yeah. Said it's gonna be after the 4th for sure, so mid to end July, but.
I think it said the end of July.
Cause I think they're going to that fireworks property,
Yes,
right?
I think so.
That's where
Dave
they're
Emlin,
Yeah.
Dave Emlin called me. I did talk to Dave Emlin last week because he wanted to know if they were on schedule. And I said, well, as far as I know, Rich hasn't said nothing, but I said, just keep in touch with engineer's office and
Yeah.
they'll let you know what's going on. So.
Yeah, so I suppose once he's done selling, which would be, I think this week.
Yep.
Be a few days after the 4th, and he'll probably be cleaning up his stuff, and
So many days after, whatever it is,
we get, is it a week,
week or 10 days.
Eight,
huh?
I think.
8th or something?
Yeah.
That's good, then they can get moved in and start that project, get it done.
Oh, I did have a question. Any discussion about ARP funds yet? The American Recovery.
Sound like AARP there for me. I'm curious what we're
Well,
talking
I'm
about
a
there.
proud member,
That's
Mark,
ARP,
so,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, so am I.
Pretty much.
And a sponsor.
No.
Yeah, I guess we haven't had any in here, but
No.
seems like, everybody's got great ideas for us. Been getting a lot of requests and recommendations. and-
At some point, we should probably start having meetings and have a committee and stuff like that, so that
We
it
don't-
sounds like what other counties are doing.
Are they
That's what everybody else is doing.
trying to figure out which direction to go with it?
I know NACO came out and said you could use it for cybersecurity infrastructure upgrades, so. Not saying anything, but I mentioned.
Well, we do have a little security upgrades we wanna do here, so I mean, there's, we're talking an extra camera here, there, whatever, and stuff like that would be feasible,
Gonna be a lot of tracking.
but that's, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Nothing free is easy.
yeah. Especially when
All
you deal
free,
with
but
feds.
still.
Some counties are hiring somebody to manage
Manage it.
that and then paying them. Apparently you can. save a lot of
Have
money.
that fun.
And
Yep, you can do that.
That,
The money goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah, then,
oh, it's a
It's a temporary
seasonal,
position.
seasonal job. Seasonal.
Temporary.
And go back to, trimming ditches.
Yeah.
I mentioned that to you, Jack, about a month ago, if you wanted something.
Yeah.
Are you volunteering, Jim?
You like desk jobs.
numbers and paperwork.
With the Fed?
When does that money come? Do we know?
When I get it,
Yeah,
I gotta get to that.
Half of it anytime.
some counties have it already in pocket, I guess. But they're still, they're trying to decide what to do with it as well.
Well, and there's still, I know the auditor of the state is still figuring out what is allowed and isn't and all that good stuff, so I think much more stuff's still gonna shake out
Yeah,
of,
Better to find that info.
Yeah.
Before saying, oh, no,
They'll-
we need that money back, cause it's
They'll
not
tell you
covered.
afterwards.
yeah, or I get written up in the audit or something, you know.
I know we're having, the committee that ISAC put together, we're having a report from them tomorrow about what they've found so far.
And if you wanna go to meetings, you can do it nonstop.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah, they put something on about every 3-4 days.
and it's not like we don't have other stuff going on. We don't need to start property taxes,
Yeah, we probably do.
maybe. Two minutes.
Everybody's willing to pay, everybody's got money, they want to pay you.
Lining up.
Joel, I'm waiting to hear if I have a jury trial tomorrow. If I do, I've got some color photos that I need to be printed.
How many?
4 of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hard, and I just need one extra copy so they can pass them around the jury room if they want to look at them when they're deliberating.
Sure. Yeah, just get into you.
Yep, I will, I want to make sure it's going before we just run them off. So I'll find out about 1:30 and
Sounds good. Well, it's not 56 people.
yeah,
Need more ink?
We've been down that road before.
and I did send email to 2 judges this morning on, I've not heard anything back yet, but
Well, Illinois, when they found out what was gonna happen, relinquished their warrant for right now, but they kept it in place. So, because they didn't want to have to go into the hospital system to get him released. So he's still out there, but we'll need to know that info, because then I can call him back, because it sounds like he's living in the county now.
okay.
Thank you.
Did he go down to 5E then?
We're transporting him down to there on a self, because he is out of our custody as of 15 minutes ago.
Okay.
I'm gonna recess the regular meeting And I would take a motion to open public hearing on a proposed urban renewal plan amendment.
So moved.
There's a second?
I'll second.
All right, roll call vote, Lowberg,
Aye.
maybe,
All right,
Stone, aye. All right, public hearing is open on the proposed urban renewal plan amendment. The urban renewal plan amendment is to use, $2 million that are in, TIF funds currently, towards the Highway 105 West project going from the interstate to Winnebago County line. Is there anybody in the public that would like to speak or discuss anything on this urban renewal plan amendment? Is there a resolution? All right, I'll ask again if there's anybody in the public that has any questions or comments on the proposed urban renewal plan amendment. Hearing no comments or concerns, I'll take a motion to close the public hearing.
so moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, roll call vote, Lowberg,
Aye.
maybe,
All right,
Stone, aye. The public hearing is closed. We'll reconvene the regular board meeting. And I'd take a motion to approve resolution 2021.07.06, the amendment to the 2021 amendment to our urban renewal plan for Worth County Consolidated Urban Renewal Area.
I will make the motion.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Lowberg,
Aye.
maybe,
All right,
Stone, aye. Motion will carry and resolution is approved. Right, last on the list, discussion on draft wind ordinance and possible litigation. Jeff Reed, that's why we asked to have you here with us today a little bit. I guess we can start on either one. Litigation was the first concern, I guess.
Well, we've previously talked about it. I don't know that there's a lot more developments, at least in Worth County, but the Hardin County case that was started about 7 months ago, and they've hired lawyers out of Des Moines to represent the county. They have gone through a summary judgment motion by the county to dismiss everything, saying this is our self-governance, and they aren't stating a claim that it can be relied on. The court in that case denied the county's motion to give summary judgment. It's a 22-page ruling that talks about why these 4 grounds that the wind people are suing under are actually feasible, and that summary judgment isn't appropriate. They still haven't had their final trial, but it's not going away easily, and so far the county is losing. At some point, and I don't know when, the worthwhile wind is going to be ready to take the next step. And at that point, there's going to need to be a determination as to whether or not they are under the moratorium, whether or not they will be under the potential future wind ordinance, or whether they're exempted as having been in place beforehand. I know you hear a lot from me saying this isn't my area of expertise. And as I say that one more time, I'll remind you that we just got done with the interstate development project. You saved about $5,000 on attorney fees because that is my area of expertise. And we did have to hire an outside attorney. But you win some, you lose some. And this isn't my area of expertise. And I can't recommend strongly enough. We need to be getting our ducks in a row. We need to get expert advice as to where we're at with worthwhile, and where we're at with a countywide zoning amendment that is being regulated by a zoning board that only has control of 1/3 of the county. I don't know the issue or the answer to those questions. I would like an expert to give us some guidance on it. It may be that we can expand our zoning board so that there's countywide representation. That certainly takes care of the global issue, which is an issue, and I think we're all aware of it. And that's a fairly easy fix. But I don't know what happens to the rest of it. I'm still concerned that I'm of the opinion that zoning ordinances have to be done according to, I think it was section 154, that you can't do them as part of your home rule. We don't know the answer to that. There's never been a Supreme Court case deciding that issue. We haven't always had the best of luck when it comes to being the first in the state of Iowa on a new ordinance. But that's another one of, I would like experts to give us a recommendation on what we've got in place, what we're looking at putting in place, how the different parts move together, and what we need to do to have an enforceable ordinance. I don't want there to be some defect that's just gonna shoot it down immediately. I have the names of the attorneys that are representing Hardin County. I have reached out to the attorneys that Jeff Gorbel had hired on his own. And this was all on Friday, and I didn't get a response. I've reached out to people with the County Attorneys Association to see if they know experts, but I'm just not hearing back from people. I haven't heard back from people. I don't know if Gorbel's attorneys have a conflict. Quite frankly, I have no idea how knowledgeable they are or aren't. I just don't know. I don't, it's not an area I practice in. You know, certainly people Hardin County have are going to be familiar with the same issues that we're facing or will be facing. But I don't know anything about them other than the fact that they're involved.
Are they an Iowa firm, Jeff?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
They're in Des Moines, aren't they?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Are we able to, even though you're our county attorney, are we able to hire an outside firm?
Yeah.
I mean, is that something like the state decides? Because, I mean, like, do you have a conflict with this?
No, it's similar to what you do when you want to do bonding. We've got a bonding attorney that comes in and gives you legal advice on bonding issues. At different times with drainage, we've had an attorney that comes in and does drainage issues with the PARB, PAARB, with Cindy's office. We've got a different firm that represents all of those. So no, there's no problem bringing in outside counsel. You know, we do the same thing when we're sued and we have coverage under the insurance company. And I still hold out hope that when that day arrives, it will have coverage. But I don't know. I mean, again, the Hardin County had a similar liability policy to what Worth County has. They were denied coverage. You know, if they pick up the bill for it, they're more than happy, I would think, to get a law firm that's already up and running and experts in the field.
And where do I pay it out of?
I don't
I'm
know.
interested in that. I'll have to maybe reach out to Hardin County and see what they're doing.
Just or as just maybe looking over the agreement or, or if things went further, you're saying.
Either way.
Either way,
Yeah,
that's a good question. I
because
don't
that's
know where
not
you would
something
put
we
it.
budget for.
Nope, I know.
No, you don't budget for lawsuits.
Well, you don't even budget for really outside attorney advice either generally, so.
Right.
You don't budget for that kind of stuff.
No.
That just happens. I agree with Jeff in the fact that he's been very honest about us. This is not his expertise. I firmly believe whether we do a development agreement with the road agreement with Invenergy, or we go zoning or whatever, we need a specialist in wind to look that stuff over. That's a 50-year contract. And they're the ones that's writing the whole contract. We need somebody at least looking the thing over. And then if it gets to litigation, they would fill in that.
So we need to, we were saying yeah, and I agree too, I guess we need to have somebody else look at it then, both.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which way we go, they need to look it over. Somebody that's got a lot of experience with wind.
As far as looking over our development agreement and
the ordinance.
draft ordinance.
Either one of them.
Right,
Well, I mean, they could do both of them, and see how they
Yep.
right,
go together or don't go together.
Because Invenergy has wrote all the regulations. All we've done is the breadcrumbs, the little changes here and there. They pretty much set it up.
Mhm.
And I want to make sure the Ts are crossed and the Is are dotted before we sign some 50-year agreement on the thing,
On that project,
on
yeah,
that project.
correct. Yeah, I agree with that as
And then if we
well.
go with the ordinance, we need to have somebody look that over too.
Like I say, if we're gonna get one person involved, they can look at both and,
And there's lawyers
Make
out there that
recommendations.
specialize in that stuff.
yeah, they can make recommendations to
Yep.
us.
I've had a couple of them made to me already.
So on the ordinance, draft ordinance portion, does anybody have any questions or concerns or comments about it?
I just read it over as much as I can read it over. I'm not an attorney, so, you know, I mean, a few things in there, I mean, it throws a lot of responsibility on us, I see, for enforcement, it looks like, and I don't know even if they're, you know, how do we enforce it? How does it incorporate everything your way and your way? And I mean, those are my questions. And I'm not an attorney, so that's where I'd like, you know, somebody to look it over. There's a lot of verbiage in there that kind of looks like it throws a lot to us.
Right.
But it is to protect the citizens.
Yeah. And that's on our plate too, so.
Yep. And I'll admit it. Considering we were looking more at the noise, the nuisance, and the effects that it had on your home. And they looked at they brought also in the safety factors of it, which ended up going to the property line, which threw a curveball at me. But I am understanding why they did it that way.
Yeah, so I guess the question is which firm do we want to reach out to? I know I've been recommended a couple as well. One in, I believe, Algona, and the other one in Des Moines. To look at these. But that's the question, which direction do we want to go?
And how we
I
pay
got-
for it.
I got recommended one from Algona too, so.
Is that the one that did the? They're
Cassuth
Cassuth County.
I
I thought they did that in-house. I thought their their county attorney handled most of it.
They had some
Yeah.
assistance from an outside firm.
Okay,
Cause I talked with Donnie Loss a few weeks ago. And, their ordinance is a standalone ordinance that is not in their zoning, even though they are zoned.
yeah,
But he said they did have some assistance. He thought the attorney was out of Des Moines. But he wasn't 100% sure which firm or what the name was, but. So.
well, if I hear any more recommendations, I'll certainly pass them on, and this one is like Stone is one of the attorneys.
That's one that's working hard in county.
Yeah, there's a Christine Stone and a Maria Brownell. And they're with Ehlers and Cooney out of Des Moines.
Probably the same thing.
And they have previously worked with Hardin County on different issues, so they were kind of their go-to. So I don't know if they were necessarily zoning specialists, but they've
done other work with.
they've done other work with the county in the past.
They may not have been specialists in wind, but that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. And what it's gonna take is get a feel for a couple of them, give them a call and talk to them and make sure it's something they can handle and something they're interested in handling.
You've reached out, sorry.
How do you do that with a 3-person board? Just logistics of it, I'm kind of wondering.
Oh, I think you just have one of the three
Reach out.
reach out and, or if you've got people you want me to reach out to, I can
I
certainly.
think you ought to reach out being the chairman.
I can, that's fine. I mean, I'll read, which ones do you wanna go with? I guess I'll call them.
Reach out to the one in Algona.
Anybody know that name? I do not.
I think they had,
Scott Buchanan.
I think they had filed a response or a comment on.
Okay.
You want his number?
If you got it.
515-295-3565.
She had that to AJ. You can just have that.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Right, do we need a motion to reach out to an attorney firm, law firm to get us some direction or costs?
I don't think we have to, but I'll make that a motion.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye?
All right.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right. Motion will carry. Okay, so if there's well, I asked Jeff Gorball to come here in case there was any questions, if you guys had any, on anything that was an issue, he would be willing to answer for us if need be. But if not, then we'll just send them to a couple of law firms and see what they think, and like I said, get us an idea what it would cost to go through it and look and make sure it's proper
Yeah.
all the way around. Same with
Sign
the
both agreements. too,
both
so
agreements,
we
the
can look at
development
them, that's what I
agreement
would
and the
say. See how-
draft land ordinance.
see how they intermesh with each other.
Mhm.
Well, I'd take it one step further. I didn't want to make them aware of the moratorium.
Mhm.
Because that may need to be defended, and I'd want to make sure they understand that we only have zoning in 1/3 of the county. And how that may or may not impact this.
Mhm.
But I mean, we're an outlier in the state of Iowa, in that regard. I think everyone else that either has a standalone or addresses it in their zoning has an underlying countywide zoning. I don't know what impact that will have, if any, but I sure want them to be aware of it.
Or of our unique position,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to call it. Okay. All right, I will reach out then and hopefully we can maybe get an answer back by next week. So we'll just leave this on the agenda for now. Are there any other questions or anything for Jeff Reed then?
No, other than we need to probably figure out where we can fund this from too,
Right.
at some point.
Well, we can
If you
say,
take 10,000 off of that TIF, just
Yeah,
leave
I'm
100
already
feet
getting-
on.
Now we need another lawyer.
Now you're trying to get me in trouble. now.
I was gonna say, I would agree.
okay, I will reach out to these then and we'll move on. So anything else? Guys,
I think I think of,
all good?
Well, thank you, gentlemen. I will certainly sleep better tonight than I have.
appreciate you coming in.
See where we end up.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I'll let
Jeff.
you know, Joel, if you need them.
All right, take a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.